Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. I hope you are happy to have made it halfway through the week. It's halfway to the weekend and you have been working so hard. Today we are going to look at day 25. So the first thing we're looking at is reading and module. And I want you to flip in your packet to page 13 to those two different works that are about trees that we've been looking at. And you're going to follow along in the video that's in the link below, and the link that's in the description below, and you're going to watch the video and follow along with page 13. So after you've done that and you've looked at trees in our community and the places that we find trees, you are going to look for all of the prepositions in that poem. You may or may not be wondering what a preposition is, so we're going to jog our memories and refresh them to what a preposition is. So, take a look at what we have written up here, and it says, a preposition is a word that tells where something is. So they're words that tell where things are, and these can also be called positional words. Prepositions can be called positional words. So we've talked about positional words a lot, how things can be above, they can be below, beside, inside, behind. There's a ton of different positional words, and those are called, in the English language, prepositions. So I want you to say that word with me. Prepositions. Awesome. So you're going to look in that poem for those prepositions or those positional words. You're going to find them in that poem. After you've done that, you are going to show me that you understand what a preposition is or what a positional word is by drawing a picture to show a bird above, below, beside, and inside a tree. So you're going to draw a tree in your journal, or you can use the trees that are already in your packet to draw on. And you're going to draw a bird above that tree, a bird below that tree, a bird beside the tree, and then a bird inside the tree. So that's what you're going to draw, and then you're going to label it on that page, either in your journal or in your packet. So the next thing we're looking at is word work, and the very first thing you're going to do is play Kaboom. So you can take all those cycle 20 words that are in your packet, and you're going to write them on slips of paper along with the word kaboom. So you need to have the word kaboom on a slip of paper, and then each of those cycle 20 words on a piece of paper. And you're going to put them in a bag or in a cup or in a pile, and you're going to draw those words one by one and read them off. You're going to practice reading those words. Once you pull the word kaboom, if you get kaboom out of the pile, you're going to start all over. So that's how we play kaboom. And then after that, I want you to grab your journal or a piece of paper, and you can pause me if you need a second. Grab something to write with, and we are going to tap out a few words together. So I want you to grab something you can write with, pause my video, and then come right back. We're going to tap out a few words. Now that you have something to write with and write on, the first word we are going to tap out and write is pinch. Pinch. So we're going to listen to that word pinch and all of the sounds that we hear. P, I, N, ch. Pinch. We're going to say it one more time. P, I, N, ch. Pinch. So you're going to write that word pinch. And you can check up here to make sure you spelled it correctly. Writing that word, oh, if you can see it, there we go, pinch. Awesome. The next word that we're going to look at writing is dish. So I want you to tap out those sounds that you hear in the word dish. D-I-sh, dish. Going to write that word on your paper. And you can check up here to make sure you spelled that word correctly. So we have the word dish. Dish. Awesome. We've got one more word that we're going to tap out together, and that word is math. Math. So let's tap it out. We've got math. Gonna write that word, and you can check to make sure you spelled it correctly on my board. We've got the word math. Math. Awesome. Awesome job, you guys, tapping out those sounds, and we are going to move into math. For math today, you're going to flip to page 7 again in your packet, and you're going to look at this picture right here at the bottom of page 7 that shows some different pieces of artwork. And I want you to just think for a minute and look at this picture. Emily wants to buy art that has 6-sided shapes on it. What I want you to do is draw a circle around any of these pieces of artwork that Emily could buy because it has 6-sided shapes on it. So you're going to look for any piece of artwork that has 6-sided shapes in the artwork. After you've done that, you are going to flip to page 5 in your packet, where you will find these pattern blocks. And after finding these pattern blocks, you are going to cut them out, and I would advise just putting them in a baggie so that you don't use or don't lose the ones that you don't use. After you've done that, you've gotten all of your shapes cut out, you are going to, either in your packet on page 8 or in a journal so that you have a little bit more room, you might want to use a separate sheet of paper. You are going to use those pattern blocks to come up with as many hexagons as you can. And a hexagon is a shape with 6 sides. So just like the shapes that you chose for Emily in the artwork just a moment ago, you are going to create with those pattern blocks your own hexagons. So you're going to see how many hexagons you can make. I've come up with 2 right here. I want you to see how many can you come up with using those pattern blocks. Final thing that you're doing for math is your exit ticket. So you're going to flip to page 9 in your packet that should look similar to this, where you are going to do the shape jumble. You're coloring each of your shapes a different color, so you're using red for circles, blue for triangles, and green for squares. And then you're going to answer these questions below to show how many did you color of each shape. Final subject is science again, and we are looking at amphibians one more time. So we're going to review what an amphibian is. And an amphibian is cold-blooded. So that means that amphibians are the temperature of their environment. So if it's super cold or if it's super hot outside, they are going to be the same temperature as whatever it is outside. They also have scaleless skin. So their skin is not like a fish. It's able to breathe and get oxygen in and out of the skin. So that is like their lungs. Their skin breathes just like our lungs breathe for us. Amphibians are also moist and wet when you touch them. So they're kind of slimy feeling. And the last one is that they live near or in water. So if I remember back to yesterday, there were a couple of different amphibians that we looked at, but today we're going to look at just two. And we're going to compare and contrast those two amphibians. So the two amphibians we're looking at are a frog and a salamander. So pause my screen if you need. I'm going to hold up those two amphibians. Ooh, I might need to hold up one at a time. And you can pause your screen if you want to take another look. I'm going to take these down. But your job is to compare and contrast, so you're finding things that are the same and you're finding things that are not the same, things that are different between a frog and a salamander. You're going to do this using either a T-chart or a double bubble map. So I have made a double bubble map and I've done just a few things. So I have my salamander bubble and my frog bubble. And for my salamander, I said that something that's different is that a salamander has a tail. For a frog, something that's different is they do not have a tail. So frogs do not have a tail and salamanders do. Two things that I found that were the same between a salamander and a frog is that a salamander and a frog are both amphibians and they both have 4 legs. So I want you to come up with a double bubble map or a T-chart that shows me things that are the same and then things that are different between the salamander and the frog. Oops. So those are the two amphibians we are comparing. After you've done that, make sure you get all of that work that you've done today submitted to Dojo. And I can't wait to see what you upload. And I hope you guys have an awesome Wednesday.